4 sets of armor. Neil's the man of the hour that we spoke about for FM. Buying the smoke, double flash. Players heading potentially towards B. That smoke going top mid. This could be a fast B split here, or maybe a distraction. Keep the player towards mid connector. Stop him from rotating fast B.
They just really cut down that map control. FM is something they're really going to be looking to drive themselves towards. Pulse stepping further and further forward, ready in B apps to really pop off an explosion now, as it is going to be a double face coming out from SKUM, but Hawkins completely caught off guard. His face splattered on off as Pulse pushes even further forward, picks up a nice little double kill for him on towards Muffin. And this pit's now Filler in a very awkward one. Starts to kind of come together with this rotate. But the T side, they already have themselves that control. NK tapping on through the window space, trying to connect something. Will eventually find us a one tap on towards Stanley. But bit by bit, this gets tougher and tougher by the second. Duck needs to make a play towards short. Finding that first frag certainly pierces open this site. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not really made too much of a difference now. As Weber and Fry1, they will all combine. Filler looking on 1 versus 2. Bomb going to be ticking. Fair play to him, you're sticking to the fuse, but Nils Dino should just peek one out and end him here, but it actually isn't taking like, let go. God. That's a 1 tap and a half. Filler deleting the head of Fry1. Now he's actually got a genuine chance.
Nils Dino mentioned how good he is in those clutches, wins the 1 versus 1. Smoke goes towards top mid. You saw Duck, how long he was there towards connector. Pulse gets the first 2 entries. There's no one there to help and aid the B players. No one there for the fast rotate. That was the reason for that smoke being bought, and it definitely paid off. Granting them the first round, and then that retake, he got a bit close, came down to a 3 versus 3, and so his headshots railed in. But whether towards bench, cut off those rotations from kitchen, pretty much still the deal there.
SKUM Gaming, though, they are going to look to trade their blows now, because they've gone straight in with the force up, the scout, the pistols, all a plentiful, pretty situation for them. But when then you compare that situation to SMGs and rifles, it starts to go from being positive to, well, a bit of an awkward situation for them all in all. NK getting pushed up with a scout, tries to find a tag, but unfortunately, scraping the bottom of the barrel with that one as it won't quite connect. FM, they've garnered control of connector. They don't have to push off the back of this. They've got so much time to play with.
They do indeed. 1 minute on the clock. No reason to push aggressively here alone. Just leave Pulse there. He can watch if any of the CTs try and get aggressive towards mid again. Try and retake that position. For now, play safe. Have as many as your SMGs and rifles stay alive. Try and get those kills on those Mac 10s and UMPs. Build up your cash. Build up your bank. Have a strong start going into the first half of the first map of tonight. But Duck is going to see them cross.
It's going to be a quick tap in towards apps. Doesn't really connect too much, unfortunately. And Fry1 will pretty much cut them off from any sort of distance in the site. Now Muffin could dive on through with the P250 and try and be a little bit crafty in his approach. But yet again, it's going to be that same old point of will it actually change anything? Will it actually add anything into the round? Fortunately, the answer pretty much already going to be given on Fry, playing towards short. Pretty much the big factor here for FM and why they can win this round is then you have him getting that triple kill. Pulse and Nil combining with their SMGs as well, making themselves a whole lot of dollar. As FM, they will double up. They'll take it 2-0. SKUM Gaming now have to sit on back and wait out this round, as this third is going to be that eco round.
You see as well 3,000 on 4 of the players for FM side. The more players staying alive, the more players on 6,000 above heading into the first buy round, the better. Even if they lose the round, they can still force up the following 2. So much pressure on the CT coming in. They're going for the fast B play. Good read here. NK calling for a CT side to go for a mid take, try and push up mid, try and take 1 or 2 guns out of the hands of the CT side. Instead though, the bomb site granted to FM, and now Pulse with the SMG. Gonna try and mop up that cash. So in the previous, on the first 4 spikes, they did have Filler and Duck saving. Could we be seeing a bomb setup? That is the question. And Hawkins and his remaining 3 players are going to try and get extra frags towards BAPS. It's looking like 500 down. Actually gets 1. Will be traded. That's an AK down as well. SKUM, they would like to save that. Then again, it's at the end of the world.
Yeah, you can try and grab forward and get it if you can, but unfortunately it's like kind of that whole America-Mexico situation all over again because the wall has been built. One is not going to be able to cross. SKUM Gaming going to have to pay for that one. It's going to be 3-0 up now for FM.
So, Filler has money to buy the AWP. Instead, going to go for the full save. Then buys M4 full set of nades. Interesting to see which part of the map he goes, because I'm going to be tracking that now. Why does he want the full nades? Is he heading towards B? Actually, no. One of the A players. Having a lot of nades towards A is important. Obviously, if FM went for a set strat towards A, smokes and whatnot, you need that Molotov towards ramp. You need the 2 counter flashes and the smoke towards ramp initially. Will be Duck with an AWP, no head armor, lack of utility as well towards mid. Filler supporting him towards connector. This is sort of the new meta now. One of the players leaving A, going towards ticket booth, playing retake, and the player playing towards stairs. Smoking bottom connector, helping him there. and trying to retain control of mid for as long as they can before they have to eventually give it up.
Stanley, though, going to push on forward, creeping right up to the crosshair. Filler spots out his head, will win the battle. Filler going to fall short in that situation now, and that puts the whole of SKUM on their B side in a bit of a predicament because they have to work out, okay, do we want to re-maneuver ourselves up on towards short and actually contest that, or do we just let it go? Garner even more map control for the FM side as they're actually going to be splitting right up on towards the A side now. NK being a pillar over towards Ticket Booth will find one in the process. Throws on a quick flash as well, allows Duck to get in position with the AWP. But FM, they're still on the site. They're going to go for this bomb plant and then they can withdraw into very quick after plants, and from there, you are looking at what could be a very swift round favouring the FMT side.
Could indeed. One key on Hawkins. Smoke, 2 flashes, all to retake this bomb side. Have an AWP towards CT, that's strong. Weber now playing close towards the Hobbit hole. Catching that rotation, Hawkins does fall. Man advantage on the retake. The boost coming in from Muffin, trying to catch Fry 1 underneath balcony. Unfortunately for the players, they're not going to overface any situations. So much experience and talent on these players. They're not going to throw away situations that they should win. Pulse. Dark and actually NK and Muffin do front flags themselves. The problem is FM, strong start, win the pistol, win the following rounds, win the first buy round. They're already going to be 4-0 up, and a weird buy now has to come up from SK? SKUM. Do they go for the quality buy? Do they full save and then go for the filler approach where you want your full sets of nades, full sets of utility? Or will they go for that CZ 5-7 Kevlar now head up? It's looking like they're going to be full saving here, and then from that, strong utility going into the next buy round. They're going to have to get it on lock there. If they lose the next buy round, you're going to see them getting into a rut. FM, they're going to have so many rounds in advance, 6-0, 7-0. That's when things really get dire for SKUM.
I feel like the problem deepens further as when you look at the way that SKUM played their CT side first buy. They were very easily molded by the side of FM. They were forced into a situation where they're going through a 3-man push through CT to make that retake happen, which you never want to be in. It's very weird. It's very kind of odd job. What we basically trying to make something out of it.
I mean, the thing is as well, they got lucky, right? NK was playing on top of Ticket Booth. There's no smoke towards ramp, no smoke palace, no smoke connector. He is openly facing connector, ramp, and palace, and they came from connector. No one was towards ramp, or close ramp, sorry. So that could have ended far worse for SKUM. That could have been NK dying, no kill towards connector. They push in, they have the site, round over.
Well, now we're going to see at least FM try and drop the gauntlet once more. Keep it competitive, bit by bit, as they search and destroy with SKUM Gaming. They find themselves frags all across the board. Muffin is going to pick up one, looks for a double kill as well on towards Stanley. Very strong chance of finding it, but it is in fact going to be him getting traded out. Stanley is going to win the battle. Weber just another for him, and bit by bit, FM walk over SKUM in this round, leaving just Filler to lick his boots with that M4 and wonder, okay, well, how on earth am I going to go about saving this?
The save as well. How important is it? They have money for the next one. At this point, $3,100 to economy. When you're going to have 3.4k as a cash injection from losing 4 rounds in a row. Or 5 now. Is it going to make too much of a difference? They still have the 4 buy leading to the next one. Do they go for a double up setup, right? The way FM are playing, they're playing towards mid, but they're smoking off the checkpoints. Do they want to play passive towards mid, allow FM to have it, AWP towards Ticket Booth, maybe have an AWP towards B shot? Yeah, double up setup now. NK, where is he going to put the second AWP? Is he going to play like he did towards Ticket Booth and, you know, basically stand Hail Mary in the middle of everything? Instead goes towards mid, and that second AWP is on Duck, and he is headed towards B. So yeah, good position here. Duck with the AWP, he can hold the long range angle with B-apps. If he sees no aggression, he can eventually start pushing for information and spot the top of.
There is one difference though, we're seeing aggression from the CT side and mid, and aggression that goes with reward, coming hand in hand almost as Hawkins walks on forward with an M4, struts his stuff, and picks off Pulse. Completely untraded by the side of FM as well. Fry1 looking to at least turn the tides as he walks out towards a ramp. But this is incredibly risky. Just look at Phil's position, look at that stairs position being held as well by Muffin. This could be very, very easily a 5 versus 3 favouring SKUM.
Could indeed. Hawkins is low. Nilzini now the AWP as well. But it's going to be Fry1 to try and work his magic towards Sandwich. Hawkins spots him for the corner of tripper boxes now. Smokes come in, the counter nade come in. Nilzini
Close, but they're not quite close enough. Hawkins going to find the first, hits it to 5 versus 3, and Molotov is going to go down, striking space between Stanley and Hawkins. But how much does that change? It's a 2 versus 4. It's getting worse and worse by the second. NK gonna no-scope Weber. Stanley now left to do it all once again for the side off FM. Trying to play from Tetris. Drops on down. Duck gonna be there ready and waiting. Crosshair in hand. to find the shot. SKUM Gaming, they're round on the board. This is their foothold.
Hold on, is now. Actually, you know what? The money isn't as bad as I thought it would be. They've already been dropped. 2,000, 2.5k. If they lose this round, they get 1.4k each. You're going to be seeing enough from rifles, lack of utility, but still Kevlar on 4 of these players if they do lose it. So the reset not as harsh as anticipated, but already fast nades towards mid and aggression again. Can they repeat it?
Hawkins going to spot the legs of one player, finds him already. Stanley peeks on through, but gets taken on down. It's going to be a bloodbath taking place in mid, but FM, they have come out odds on top. 3 versus 2. 1 minute 30 on the clock, so early in the round for this to take place, but so rewarding for this T side, as now they can take all the time in the world. But Frywon openly facing, who tries to make a meander over towards jungle. Filler, of course he's going to punish for that, brings it back to a 2 versus 2, and this has gone from FM playing with their advantage. They're potentially screwing it all up now. Spiller with a secure off ramp, stopping Stanley for going for a quick-witted push. We do see Weber trade him from behind though, forcing Duck to do it all himself. AWP, not quite the weapon you're looking for in a clutch, but when playing from Connector, you can make it work.
Can indeed. Has utility and smokes, and a kit. Can smoke defuse the bomb if it becomes a 1 versus 1, but he needs to find another kill here. Spot standing now, sees the shadow flash comes in. They're both blind!
Both completely blind. Stanley gonna fire off a few shots with the rifle. Will find the frag. FM 6-1. SKUM Gaming economy gutted.
So even though Fry1 got caught off guard there, and at home you'll be thinking, what is Fry1 doing? They're dying alone, you've got the man advantage, etc., right? He made the right play, but he was 4-5 seconds too early, right? You saw Weber was already towards mid. Fry1 had to face towards jungle, that's fine, but he had to reface towards connector. If he had waited a second and he knew Weber was there, he wouldn't have had to face towards connector and would have been holding towards CT, could have found that kill.
Pistols now for SKUM Gaming. They can hope to try and whip away their opposition with a few cheeky 5-7 shots, perhaps a deagle on towards the head of their opposition, but that all feels like such a big ask. Are they going to at least be able to make something work though? Starting to get really needed as well, even these pistol rounds becoming so important for them out this scoreline.
Yeah, they do the Carrigan smoke towards top of connector and they smoke off window. They've been doing this multiple rounds now. Can take control of mid, they can go for a B split here very, very easily. Connector smoked off, no one's there, it's all down to NK.
NK ready and waiting cross set. Stanley though just going to one-tap him yet again. Duck pushing on towards ramp, does gain a rifle for his troubles. You do look at the HP of FM and go, you know what, actually relatively low. But they're just one-tapping them all across the board. Hawkins can at least bring one back with a deagle for the CT side to try and make the best out of. But even then, this feels like such a deep, dark hole for them to try and force themselves into. As Hawkins walking further and further with a deagle. That's not quite the close-range weapon that he wants to be sitting with. Weber just Hawkeye on towards the angle as well as being held. Filler just going to waltz through a smoke. And Weber easily being able to find that one. Stanley towards short as well. Just short being such a big position for this T side. Really want to stress that enough now for FM. They've been using it every single time they've gone B.
It's so easy
to mop up any retake that SKUM tried to pull off.
What's interesting as well, Duck actually managed to save this AK, but what's interesting, right? Typically when I see an underdog play versus a heavy favorite, I'll see the heavy favorite go for a lot of B splits. Don't even try and risk that A bomb site. If you know a team is very inexperienced and maybe not as good as you, do the window smoke off connector. If they don't know how to react to that, just abuse it. Keep going for it.
Well, reacting to that split pressure across the side of the B portion of the map as well as mid is so much harder than a team learning how to counter a simple execute on towards A. Because a lot of the stuff on A is set smokes. There's only so many variations you can do as well.
You learn that in ESC Apex, how to counter those smokes.
What you don't learn though is how to trade map control, how to deal with pressure towards short, how to deal with a split coming in through B apps and use your utility correctly, because that's a big part of that, those flashes, those smokes.
What they could do is send an AWP towards B apps, have him hold top of underpass. That way when the smoke comes in, they're going to know if there's players under connector, if they're going towards B. NK SKUM though, he knows exactly where those players are trying to go. Stops them dead in their tracks.
NK, if there's an opportunity, he will strive forward and taking it, proving it yet again for his team. Steps up to the plate, delivers a double kill. But what's the game plan for FM now in this round? They realize, okay, hold on a second, boys, we're on the back foot here. Hawkins needs to push that even further, cementing what should be a round for the CT side now. As FM up against a bit more of a brick wall. Frywon and Nilzinho, 2 players to try and bring this one back. They have a minute to work with. They're going towards the old faithful, the A site. They don't really have too much utility either. Nilzinho just going to walk out with an AWP, try to take the raw Angel. NK though over towards stairs. Really could be the insurance policy to win them this round, ignoring CT completely, just looking at the position of Filler here.
He needs a team flash or something. then again, jumping around with an ult from Neil Senior is very hard for him to land. Jumping goes good. Will fall as well, both of those teammates. Fry1 gets one, but will fall as well. So actually, when I looked at the minimap, Duck was towards B. The problem is he's playing Car, he's just holding the angle. Could get a bit more aggressive there, hold the angle for a bit, as I mentioned before, have a flash in or just do whatever you want. Push a little bit, peek towards the top of underpass, because that difference in information is massive. You get to know exactly where the T's are if they're pushing towards B, 2-3 seconds in advance, fast rotations, a lot easier to hold off that B split. Spoke about FM going for those A plays, maybe not in the early portion of this game, but now on this low, weird quasi buy, they're going to go for it.
Pistol's going to push out, forcing. There's a drop dead over on towards triple box, muffing it a spray from stairs. The traces all giving him up now. This is the perfect counterplay coming in from FM. NK being pushed on forward in towards jungle, placed in a box. Hawkins is going to be there to buy him some time. But you're looking at double AWP setup and one rifle trying to retake on towards this A site. Yes, AWPs, they have a few angles they can clear, but there's only so much variation you can bring to the table. Hawkins trying so hard to preen it up towards CT, but Stanley's position alone can cut downstairs. Bear in mind you've got this double stack towards CT as well. That's a double peek on towards Duck. Hawkins trying to find that trade, but they're running out of time. The CT side, they got to go fast. Hawkins just another one for him, but Weber now over towards ramp makes it even more complex for the CT side. The defuse having to be stuck here. Pulse going to be there to secure the round with a Tech 9. That's perfect from FM. Every single time the round evolves into something different. Every single time SKUM pick up a frag, FM, they show something new. They play a new card. They played ramp, that distracted them further. Then they played CT, that pulled them even further off the site. It just plays with the time, leaving SKUM no opportunity to win that round in any way at all.
Right towards jungle stairs, they know that SKUM Gaming, they're not playing for the retakes, and they abuse it. There's no smoke towards CT because they know that there's not going to be anyone there. They anticipate a player on site. That's Filler playing triple boxes. They catch him off guard. He is completely alone. That's the job of those smokes, to isolate the players and just stop them from getting aids from their teammates. Aids from their teammates.
You've got to look at the economy though. Sure, that's not something we can just ignore. These guys are going to be in a struggling situation. But Hawkins with the Eagle finds himself a double kill. NK with the 5-7 as well. Perhaps we have to kind of just ignore it completely because SKUM Gaming have just blindsided FM with P250s and Eagles. Barely any Kevlar, barely any utility.
And then money too. They go for a full save, and you go for the full save, you've got money in the bank already. You win the round, you've already got, you get more money basically. 6,000 on those players as they do go for the full buy, and a reset comes in for FM. They went for the force fire, the 3 Tech 9s, 2 AKs. They win that round, and they get reset by a full eco. FM playing a bit sloppy here, maybe. I don't want to say disrespecting, but maybe getting a bit too antsy, a bit too aggressive.
Confident. Right now they feel like they are the better team.
Yeah,
we know on paper, when you compare these two teams in terms of stats, maps, whatever you want to kind of look into, they are the better team. But at the end of the day, every time you're in the server, it's any time that you can finally be dethroned. Brian Pulse, though, are doing some damage here and there, bringing it to a 3 versus 3, so not completely impossible for FM to make this one work, but it does get worse and worse by the second. As Weber, he may well have a rifle poised in play. But he's also got Muffin staring dead set at him, putting him in this corner with no room to move anywhere at all until his team come to aid him.
3-3, Muffin whiffing that spray now. He comes in from Weber, he knows the 2 players there towards jungle. Smart play there, throwing the AK towards Pulse. They know exactly where that Kalashnikov should be. But now Filler towards Connector.
Oh, Filler needed to land those shots. Gets nothing done, whiffs crucially, does some damage. But this is now all falling apart. Pulse with that rifle. It set FM up perfectly to shut this round down. SKUM Gaming off the back of a few missed shots, both in towards that window and from that box over towards CT. That's crumbling.
It's a game of resets. It's going to be SKUM now. They win the full eco, all fine and dandy. They reset FM, but FM, they win their 4th buy and put SKUM Gaming in a bit of a rut. Observe if we can take a look at the money, please. There we go. NK SKUM has $900. Could drop over an SMG, a UMP. Not the end of the world. Muffin, he can buy. How much is he going to get? Lost 1 round, 1.4k. He'll have $6,800. No, you can't drop over than 4. So yeah. And actually now this op goes away. That changes everything. 6.8k there for Muffin, for just under 5,000 for Duck. I mean, he can buy an AWP, no armor. Try go for a bit of a push maybe. Could go connect to hold the right side of the top mid smoke.
Is it worth it though when you've got 3 players below 2,000 practically?
Yeah, it might actually be, because Hawkins and Fiddler, they can't buy even if you go for a double save. You need 1.9k plus. So the question is, if they force this, they're going to bring Eco next anyway, and then they're still going to have a buy. The problem is, if they buy Muffin full buys here, that means, oh, they're going for a pause. I was about to say, this is a point where you should take a pause. So
yeah, this is the sort of time when kind of just having that chat for a second is good.
Yeah,
it does give you that time.
Hawkins, okay, let's break down. Oh, they've unpaused it. Quickly, when you have 2,000, you lose one, you get 1.9k back. 2,000 plus 1,900 is 3,900, enough for an M4 and Kevlar, no head armor and no nades. So in terms of firepower, you have it, but obviously you can need utility to hold back FM. You're not going to win straight Angels.
Oh, you say that. NK.
He's gone AWP.
Take down Stanley.
He's gone AWP.
Duck over towards mid. Is now going to free peek. Nilzino is going to punish him though. He's the overwatching figure for this team side.
I said. The supporting rifle, holds the angles while he lets the other players push up. That's exactly the example of it.
NK now looking to hold. Weber can molly Hawkins out of position. This is going to burn him out of this round. Leaving NK to do so much now over on towards his ace side. Really being built up into a big giant for this CT side. Problem is, how do you tackle a giant? Well, just don't run into him. Vrywon going to be the one man to take the fight. Muffin going to be making the side to win, but yeah, I think the big pertinent point here is that FM, they just haven't gone anywhere near them. They've gone, okay, Fry, yeah, you do your thing. You go over towards A, that's fine. Meanwhile, we're going to be over on B planting the bomb and actually getting the round win. You're just a distraction. Pulse can now get back up into towards short, where pretty much FM have won all of their B play rounds from. They're going to flash them down, they're going to force them even further back, they're going to do all that early damage, that utility, and it all rolls into one hell of a package. It makes this just impossible for them to win. Pulse finds one, peeks out for the second, short, the successor for FM eSports.
Easily done there for FM. But I said so many times, right, Nilzino is a supportive AWPer, and that finally we've got an example of it. Generally, as the observer, you're not going to be watching the support AWPer holding angles, you're going to be watching the riflers that are pushing. It's very rare you actually see a supportive AWPer, like, you know, on stream what we saw there, where he's holding window and the three riflers push towards connector. We can, well, it's a Fleeker, we can compare things now. If you compare that, right, yesterday we had FM versus 6, they went 1-1. Smooth's not that player. He's not going to be the one holding window, because that's the job of the support player.
Smooth's the player diving out a window, pushing mid.
On the CT side, I'm talking about T, but you're right. Or just making the short jump. But Smooth's going to be the one that's going to be wanting to get into connector. He wants to be where the kills are, he wants to be where he knows the enemies are. He's not going to forfeit his frags, forfeit his ADR, all those, you know, all that shabam. He wants the glory. And sometimes, you know, Nilzino can have more impact with the AWP than, you know, you might put Smooth to be far more mechanically skilled on the AWP than Nilzino. But it's how does your AWP shape around your team? How much do you bring to your team as well? And how much do you set up your other players, not just yourself?
Do you know a prime example of that? Not necessarily within the direct AWP comparison, but it will be present. We'll jump into that in a second. For now, we're going to look at NK taking a battle towards the top mid. Hawkins going to be there to aid him. It will be 2 kills for them, but one that quickly comes back into play for FM. Spray going to find himself a nice little double kill, pierces in towards NK's armor. Duck responding yet again, though. Bringing it back to a man advantage for the CT side to try and toy with Duck. Still playing over towards his mid window, just making sure that no presence can be garnered from FM on towards short. The flash is going to be thrown. FM, they have so much time to play with, though. Every single time they're in these clutches, they're never against the clock. And that's always a huge benefit for them.
Yeah, it's because SKUM, when they have the early advantage, usually when they push. Either Hawkins and Co pushing up mid. Oh, I like this actually. Smoke off window boost. Weber into window. He can go for a backstab now. 50 seconds on the clock. They're going to wait for that smoke to fade. Have Nilzino go back towards ramp or palace. Weber now just has to wait. Try and find that one kill. They know that SKUM are going to play 1-1-1. As in one player B, one player mid, one player A. If they can kill the player in mid, group up and try and 2-on-1 the player A, and then go from there.
Well, looks like that is going to take place as Weber waits ever so patiently and gets a reward. 2 versus 2 now. Look at the angle being played from Filler. He's up in Palace. Could try and drop this bomb planter dead if Nilzino goes for it. But that's a risk. Weber should be now looking towards this. But Filler going to play it smart, realizing, you know what, I want to be my teammate here. I want to do it together. That problem is Nilzino. He's just a man who drive-bys you, hits him, wrecks him completely. Filler now left to do it 1 versus 2. Has the information on Weber's position, deletes Nilzino with a smooth one-tap. He should know what is coming. He should know the connector is going to get peaked. is going to get stuck. He peeks on out, tries to go for the tap, but falls short. That buys more time for the T side now. The flash is going to go off. Filler sticking the defuse this time, doesn't want to risk it. Weber going to face, but Weber's missing the shots.
He missed the headshot.
Does Weber win these snots? Because that right there is him with him.
He's whiffed the headshot. You can see how close that crosshair is to his head. He made the right play. He gets spotted towards jungle. So he legs it, jumps out window, goes towards connector. But, you know, you make the right play, but it's about execution. And he didn't quite execute Filler. And that makes it 11-4. Would have been 12-3. 11-4 is definitely, you know, mentally, you can actually come back from 11-4. When you get 12-3, that's when it's like, oh, that one's done. Still, going to be 4-3 armor actually on the side of the T's. 2 sets of smokes. They can smoke off the first shot pillar. They can smoke off sight. They can smoke off, use the smoke in the retake. They can use the smoke to smoke off balcony, jump through it. So many different things they can do here. Stanley's getting a bit apprehensive here. He's going to hear these nades as well.
This is going to be so nice from Stanley. He can roll this into a strategy that leads them to frags because he might not bite straight away. But now he knows, okay, they're all 5 coming from this position. Nilzinho can then respond to that and start to get himself at least a better angle to work. This is where Stanley pops into play now, finds one. Hawkins does secure the quick trade, but then there's Nilzinho. The information he got sets him up to find just another, but Muffin trades it back. Blood going all over the place at this point as FM now have to realize, okay, you know what? We had a good position, but now we're in a stand El Clasico retake. They have the kit on fire now, so that means they don't have to rush. But Weber still going to be taking so much early on, a 1-for-1 affair. SKUM Gaming coming out on top. Pulse to come in from short, though. We talked about this FM side and their short play. Let's see if it's going to come on true yet again. So far, denial. Hawkins, Fry, they both find themselves picks. They pit up in a 1-versus-1s, but Hawkins, he will win this one. Gets himself a quadra kill in that round. And SKUM Gaming, they get the pistol. That 11-4 starting to look very realistic for that SKUM comeback.
Quadra kill. 18 kills to 14 deaths for Hawkins. And on the side of FM, it's going to be Stanley leading the charge on 17. Pistols go 1-1. FM lose their CT side pistols. SKUM Gaming take the T1. And that's the great thing to win, right? Your T pistol is so good for you because on the first buy round, the FM side and the CT side, if they force, like they have, they're going to have a lack of nades, lack of utility. It makes taking control of the map a lot easier. You're not going to be playing versus smokes, counter smokes towards connector, flashes, counter flashes, mollies once it reaches 40 seconds on the clock and so forth. Instead, you're going to have a much easier time on the first buy round. And I actually think not enough teams abuse the first buy round if you win the pistol on your T and just calm things down, wait for the other CT side, so waste all the utility, and then go for the push like right now.
Smart from Nilzinho to fall on back cover, make sure he doesn't get sat short with all the work to do. Unfortunately, we'll still get isolated by these rifles though, as bit by bit SKUM, they inch their way on towards this B site and have now successfully arrived. And they're going to board themselves into a nice, cute little bomb plant. FM, CZ, Deagle, sure, such an impact, but that's going to be about it in this one. SKUM Gaming, I talked about that pistol round being the start of a comeback. It certainly is because it gets them so many rounds and that advantage you so dearly mentioned in that first buy.
Now, in the infamous Mirage SKUM versus Excel game, it was the CT side from SKUM that really brought them back. 4 rounds on their CT side. We've seen better, haven't we? Can they change it up now and have a very dominant first showing on their T side here on the first game of the night, on the second half now? Or will they just fall flat after the first buy round? Who knows? It's going to be very hard for them to take rounds here, right? FM eSports, such highly skilled players. They're not going to overface. It's going to be very hard to find pickings and openings towards the map. If you're SKUM, I mean, the thing is, right, that B split that FM did to SKUM, that's not going to work versus FM. It might work one round. They're going to think of a counter. They're going to work around it. Then that's going to fix it. For SKUM to win this on the actual buy rounds, I mean, you gotta try potentially just let your stars shine. Maybe take control of mid, leave Hawkins, or have Hawkins try and make entries towards A. I don't think executes are really going to be the thing to take down FM. Maybe on the first buy round. From then forward, I'm not too sure.
I feel like for SKUM, kind of the be all and end all of it is they're playing a game of chess against FM. Every single time they make a move, FM will then respond. If SKUM start to kind of sit there and idly buy and just, for all intent and purposes, AFK, then FM will just wipe the board clean, and you see them take the win.
Still though, SKUM would like to wipe FM clean this round and have no players die, build up their bank, and go from there. As they are only 5 rounds behind. And hopefully as long as, stacked towards B, they're going A. As I say that, should be likely to see SKUM reach 7 and then maybe 4 rounds.
Some nice early damage though for the CT side. They find themselves 1-0. Zinio looking to set up to find himself just another wins. The close range battle against Villa, tapping now on towards Duck as well, making this seem like they actually can do quite a fair bit of damage now as 2 picks. Kind of that bare minimum we always mention when it comes down to flat ecos. But unfortunately the SMGs, the cavalry, will finally arrive. Weber going to get deleted from short. And SKUM Gaming do mow on through 7-11 now.
So, first Byron comes in, no AWP on the CT side. Not the end of the world, right? These players are so versatile. We've seen the AWP on Weber, Pulse, Zinio. We saw, I think, on Cash by one played at CT side for like a couple of rounds. So we'll ignore that. These players are so versatile. They can rifle, AWP, pistol, clutch. For them, staying on a 5 rifle setup isn't the end of the world. Question is though, holding mid with 5 rifles, are we going to see the approach from NK that we saw with the smokes towards connector? We will. Oh, it's looking like they're going to do exactly what FM did back to them.
They don't check their corners though. Stanley going to find himself one, but it's only a trade. As this B side, they're combing through this B side now, checking every single angle off the back of what Stanley was able to do. They're going to molly Weber out of bench, but he's still standing. They still haven't dealt with him. He finds another trade for the CT side now, leaving Pulse and Frey an opportunity to still bring this one back, because look at the HP of Duck, 12 HP, a minuscule amount. If those rifles can take advantage of that, then this retake is on the cards. But it still is all about that bare minimum now. As Pulse ready to go out, takes the 1-versus-1 up against Villa. Wins that one. Duck still ever so low, playing around that right pillar. He peeks it out, but gets the drive-by in return. Leaving Fry in a 1-versus-2. Pits himself between these 2 players now. One right above him practically. One right in front of him. Will find the first. Spots his opposition out.
Kit.
But with no kit, this is pretty much done deal. Wait for the push. Seems to be very idle about the fact that he knows he's not got any time. NK got to find the headshot on the end. SKUM Gaming, they get that first buy. It's really shaping up to be that strong piece now. You're looking at $10,000 on Doc. That's a lot of money for them.
I mean, I said that strat wouldn't work because I was expecting FM to play properly, right? The push comes in from short. If they get spotted, you fall back, you molly short, you counter flash it, you get into the good positions towards under window, towards the pillar. Pulse, I believe it was. I can't remember. No, it wasn't Pulse. Which player was it on balcony? But still, nevertheless, the player there playing towards balcony, I believe it was Stanley. Should definitely try and find a multi-kill there. Did have Weber on the fast rotate, found 1 kill. The problem was that he got so tagged in that first duel, he couldn't really go from far from there. Still, 5 rifles, 5 AKs inside of SKUM. FM gonna be put down to those pistols. Only armor on Stanley. He seems to always love playing that CZ and armor as well.
FM really getting taught a lesson though right now that they have to fight tooth and nail up against any team.
Yeah, it's
and
very
not
close.
Just up against kind of your standard top tier UK opposition. The SKUM Gaming 8-11 on these rifles. Clear cut advantage of course up against these pistols, and they're really making this B-site work for them. Try and respond with the CZ, but can't quite get the ammo out. All going to be left is Fry and Weber to try and have any impact at all in this round. Otherwise, SKUM, they will get that nice little play. All that economy rolling into one package for them. And it comes back to that moot point of just so much money for them now. It doesn't take just one round for FM to crush them.
No, it doesn't. Still though, 5 players staying alive for SKUM. Even if FM win multiple rounds in a row now, they can get high up, but they're still going to be put under so much pressure. SKUM are going to keep being able to buy. They're going to be on that 5-round win streak. And now we have a technical issue and a pause.
Yeah, so it does give SKUM that unfortunate reality that they have a tech issue. Their momentum off the back of that is going to somewhat sour on out.
That's a good point. That's actually a good point. You know what? Momentum, right? They have the momentum. They won 5 rounds in a row. And now they have the issue. They have a technical issue that could slow things down. Maybe what's working for them. It gives FM time to talk as well.
It's
what
what
is
frustration on towards SKUM though is kind of the big thing. Is what if you're sitting there right now, if you're a player, getting yourself hyped, really going, you know what? It was 11-4 in that first half. Now in the second half, it's 9-11. We're finding all of these rounds. It feels very decisive. Doesn't feel too close in these buys. And then one of your teammates goes, "Boys, I've got a problem. We need to pause." What does
I
that
don't
do
think
to
it's
you?
that dramatic.
Yeah, but what does that do to you in terms of a player, right? It is gonna kind of zone you out of the game for a
You
second.
zone out, lose a bit of focus. Momentum is strong. I mean, for SKUM, if that round went live, they know exactly what they're doing. They're going to keep repeating it. It's going to be a bit rusty. you made a good point actually about how FM have to fight versus every team and how every team right now. I mean, the thing is, I mentioned that the top 4 is going to be Endpoint, FM, Excel, Fish 123 in my eyes, yeah. And then from top 4, you've then got Imperial, still a very good team, XKaz. Then you've got Infused, again, still a very good team with Shiki, Shayna, that duo. And then you've got CEX, who are slowly improving. I mean, they came second at Epic LAN. Been showing some decent online results. I mean, they had close games with Imperial on the first match of UK Masters. And then you've got SKUM. And right now, SKUM are definitely showing that they're worth it here and that they're able to play at the top level. And that's just how far improved the UK scene is.
I think the storyline as well, it comes back to that whole point about the unsung heroes almost. Kind of, I brought into Crims, he was the guy in the old Fnatic that you didn't really see all the articles, you didn't see all the hype about Crims, you saw all about their core stars. But you bring that into the UKCS sort of scene, you have those players all being supporting figures, all playing into the role of their team. They can make it happen. Talking about one, Weber, he pops off, finds himself, I think it is going to be close aggression, but Muffin walks in, gets a double kill on towards this B site. You said FM knew how to deal with this. Right now,
I mean, I don't know what I've just watched there, mate. Neil's seen, fair play, he's rotated towards site, that's fine. The problem was, though, Stanley gets headshot, he's peeking again towards balcony.
Repetition is what it is. SKUM Gaming not really changing too much up.
Yeah, they're pausing. I think they realise right now this might be a technical... Why do I keep saying
I feel like that's like the 7th time you've done that now. You do love your, what was it?
Tactical. Oh my goodness. Tactical pause. Oh my. Why is that so difficult for me to say? Tactical pause comes out after FM. I
want to ask you the question because I don't want to get into that rut in these pauses where we just kind of analyse direct play. Instead, you're a player. I want to take advantage of that while you're here. What do you do in this situation that FM are in right now? Because surely, with this pause coming in,
so
they realise
there's two
something's
ways you
gone
can
wrong.
look at it, right? There's one way, yeah, it is a tactical pause there from Weber. So there's 2 ways, right? One way, you take a step back. In your heads, you're going to be saying, come on, boys, we're way better than these players are. You might say, Stanley, you're way better than any of the players on SKUM Gaming. Why are you dying like this? Why are you not, annihilating them, stopping the push? Let Stanley just breathe, take a second, right? Or there's the other way where you can be very, very analytical and very, very direct and be like, okay, what are they doing? How they do it? How are they doing it? And then how can we fix it? Probably right now, Stanley's trying to say like, whoa, he's doing this at B. How do I counter it? Hopefully from there, we're going to see him not play on balcony. Thing is, I think it's Boaster that had a lot of success playing like that little off angle towards Van. I mean, you can play towards the bench. When you're holding,
doesn't work though. You got to change it up. You can't just play the same thing over and over again and hope that it one day will stick.
Or just flash peek.
Yeah.
If you're going to wide face balcony for information, fair enough, right? But just flash it. You can jump peek it, fair enough, yeah. You can peek from Van, but just please use your flashbangs.
Talking of flashbangs, I want to interject there and talk about short, because it seems to be a little bit common for FM now to their whole sentiment of, okay, how to deal with SKUM just barreling down short is stand in a smoke almost. We've seen them time and time again get caught out with a player very close up short. I can look at the map right now, you can see them just almost playing right on that corner. You could fall back. You could actually get that information early from that mid player.
That's what I said.
Go back to the
That's
site.
what I said. Just you spot them there, use your counter nades. I mean, they've got.
I mean, that helps Stanley though. It gives him that teammate to then support him. We talked about this support. It's such a big part of Counter-Strike. Play like a team. Hopefully, FM, they've plugged that hole. Hopefully, they're not just going to be this sinking ship. As we are 10-11, SKUM Gaming battling right to the very end to equalize this one and try and take that win. This round, a big part of that is FM. They're going into this guns blazing. Hawkins already punishing Fright. They're going out towards A. Another fracture found towards bench. Hawkins, NK, both combining. Pulse is able to at least nick up one to the CT side. But that was going to be it. Philip going to hold a beautiful angle in connector. Pat Nelson just another as he takes down Nilzinho's head. Leaving just Stanley coming from CT, pushing with a CZ. But that is a very one and done situation for him. The SKUM Gaming equalization point.
Still though, it wasn't the full buy there for FM. They can still go for the buy. 11-11 is the scoreline now. FM, what are they going to change? We saw whether they get aggressive with the AWP Pulse mid. Didn't really find anything because we went for the contact play. Instead of seeing the double AWP set now from Pulse. Very strong AWPer. Mechanically, definitely can get the job done. He's going to go push towards Palace and get information. If he spots no one towards Palace, then I wonder how the CT side are going to play. Because if they know there's no one Palace, they're going to think, okay, we might have to play a bit more passive now towards B. Stanley, don't go for those over faces from balcony. Play, oh, I say that. No, he's pushing it. which is actually a good change because you can see that he's got a player baiting from a balcony, and now Stanley, yeah, the jumpy comes in, and now they won't anticipate Stanley to be there. Good bait and switch.
Well, they've not done this, so even if it might not be the perfect way to go about it, if they've not done it, SKUM, they don't necessarily have bucket loads of experience. So a lot of these plays could be that blindsiding situation for them that do get themselves 1 or 2 frags, or maybe even 3 for the side of FMers. Look at that core group of players. Look at the amount of information Stanley could find, but finding is crucial. He finds himself 1, peeks out, gets a 2nd, gets a 3rd, and now he's playing for the 4th, starts to let that M4 rip, starts to continue to spray, eventually falls back, however, and is going to find himself somewhat blind, but now just don't face. Now just wait. He can actually run away from this one. Somehow he's going to get away without a trade from SKUM. This is disastrous.
Fair play. Stanley there, the 3K does take down those 3 SKUM players. Hawkins, and now as well, Duck does fall. FM, they make the change. Bait and switch setup, they don't expect. I mean, the thing is, they smoke balcony as well, so it's not as if that setup works because there's no vision. Instead, they didn't expect Stanley to be anywhere near that chair, that curse's chair.
11-12 though. SKUM Gaming, they can still buy here, they can still put in all the money they want. This is not over. It's not even remotely close to being over. 24th round. Another very, very important one. FM, they don't want to get themselves kind of reset in terms of their economy here either. It's going to be very critical for them to keep it together. Be composed. Be the like that we've seen win these lands.
Exactly that. Previous UK Master Champions. Now for the fast play now, Muffin towards the balcony area. Drops down, flashbang. Neil's never looking towards where they are.
It's that same kind of passive setup, but this time, with both players on site, they still completely caught off guard. They have no idea what to expect when a player just walks out, apps in that sort of mannerism. Very disappointing stuff from FM in this round. As now, double up set up on a rifle. 3 versus 5 retake? Yeah, that's not going to happen. Not on SKUM's watch. They're going to fall on that, look for their saves. Over on towards the A side. Filler, he's still looking to do some damage. These Orps missing their shots. He's just being an incredible thorn in their side towards Connector. He will fall though, Pulse, going to fall back in towards CT, but that will lead him to his death. All the damage that's come through here is actually really, really useful for them.
It is indeed. They will get the reset into FM, so these guns being saved is vital. The chances of a win the next round are only going to be the AWP saved by Weber. Might get aggressive towards mid now. He's got the only rifle, the only AWP. Oh, the buy. Weber can drop a FAMAS or a UMP. Neilzinho needs a drop. Pulse can buy, Fry can buy, Stanley can buy, so it's going to be the FAMAS instead of the UMP. It's quite interesting actually how strong the UMP has become now. But still, oh my god, they're just running at run.
Just charging them forward, and they are getting their frag. The flash is going to go off, and Pulse is looking for a double kill. Makes a bit of an if with the spray, but still pulls on through nonetheless. Weber gets to rotate in from Connector, finds himself to pick on towards Duck, and it is going to be FM eSports dropping the gauntlet on this quick ramp push coming out from SKUM Gaming, as NK, the last man standing, the last pillar for this T side. Their economy, yes, it's pretty huge, but it will be whittled on down, and this is going to be costly.
Rookie mistake there from NK. Explain why. Eventually, oh, flashbang. It's all of them. Stanley just jumps on him, but now the mistake that NK's made there, right? If you just look at it in terms of rounds, observe if we can see the scoreboard. You can see CT's win a round, T's win a round. The NK thinks that he's reset the economy. Observe it. Can you hover over the second or the first round win there for the CTs? Yeah, you can see 5 CT players remaining. They didn't have to rebuy. That's 3.4k in the bank, plus 1.4k for saving. That's why these players had $4,000 to buy. As the IGL, you have to check how many players stay alive per round. And already they're 2 men down.
Talking about staying alive, just 1 down, but that could quickly be turned into a second, judging by the positions being held. It is just another B-amp push. The AWP somewhat being forced away, but Weber, he's just going to dive on through a smoke. Duck, his head is going to be torn off by Stanley. Weber, no scoping Filler as he jumps on through a smoke as well. This isn't the way to be aggressive, SKUM. You don't just push smokes. You're not all a team of Stewie 2Ks. There needs to be some composition behind that.
They're not Stewie UK. They are NK. Still though.
That was terrible.
I don't know.
That was terrible.
What does NK stand for?
Could have at least made something witty up there, but
no,
you know what?
No, I'm just asking. What's his full name?
Don't know.
I think it's Nika or something like that, isn't it?
I think it comes from his last name, NK.
Yeah. It's a very hard name to pronounce. Not going to go there. But what we're going to go over instead is...
It's 12-14, so
exactly.
that's what we're going to talk about, of course.
Oh,
FM
buy, though.
got the AWP. They do see the Deagle and Muffin, but for the most part, it is a fairly comforting buy for this T side. But look at them set up for this quick push towards A.
I don't know how I feel about this. FM, they're playing retake. They've got the exact setup you need. No players are going to be isolated on the site from FM. Fry 1, the smokes come in. He falls back towards ticket booth. They're going to expend or use so many nades to try and get the bomb down that once those smokes fade, it's going to be a very easy retake for FM if they play it patiently. SKUM Gaming, they need an entry frag. They need a kill early, otherwise this is definitely favoured in terms of FM.
Well, they're all grouping up. The AWP shot so far, they are dodging the bullet. Weber so close, but so far from finding Muffin there. Now, clutch shot is going to go on through Frey, through the edge of the smoke as well, on towards Duck. The entry frag, it is all but a miss. As Hawkins can at least force a bomb plant, that's going to aid their economy. With a jump coming in from Fry towards CT, that's even more information into the court of FM eSports. As at this point, they're all but set to get themselves their 15th round map point in this first map of best of 2. Stanley going to begin the push from CT, starting to really compose this one. Stanley finds the headshot, Pulse just another for him, leaving Hawkins now to fight all from Tetris, finds himself at least the bare minimum, a double kill. But FM, they have so much manpower just to continually run at him and trade.
There's nothing to stop them, right? No smokes. You see that they use 3 smokes to get the bomb down. They lose the player that had a smoke grenade. After that player died planting the bomb, they had to re-smoke CT because there's a gap in their CT smoke. That's all the smoke's gone. That way there's no time, there's no way they can hold off the CTs from retaking. They come in, guns blazing, AWP shot through the smoke definitely helps. Weber getting aggressive, makes the Kenya's jump. And when he spots no one towards mid, could rotate B, and so already we were seeing a heavy stack from the T's.
SKUM Gaming, though, they did have a whole lot of money just a few rounds ago, kind of the amount of 11,000, 10,000, all really sits in your memory. But now look at them. Now look at them a few rounds in the future, sitting in the present situation that is them on their 28th, with no room for error. And what can they buy? Well, they've got a few rifles sprinkled throughout, they've got the UMP on Hawkins, and then they have the Tech 9. It's by no means a pitch-perfect buy. Utility very lacking as well, bar NK.
Exactly. Still, they're getting aggressive now. Flashes come in. Stanley with a good molly here. Pushing through.
Might be pushing on through, but they're taking so much damage in the process that this is easy for FM to find themselves these frags. Stanley going to be the anchor to take down Muffin. Will eventually fall, but the anchor, your job is to find yourself a pick and then get traded out, and it's looking good for that. Pulse going to miss a shot with the AWP though. This is the second shot, Pulse. Not quite what we wanted to see now, but Fried coming from market, somewhat starts to seal the deal. NK going to park himself over on towards Van. Doesn't want to peek this one. If anything, just wants to sit tight, because this is still going to be very, very difficult for SKUM to make work. But Hawkins' position could very much change. Just catches Weber completely off guard. No idea what to expect. Gets backstab Hawkins, peeks out again, and Hawkins is the man to save this round. A triple kill for him.
We could definitely be seeing OT here. FM, if they go for a save, they're going to have a full buy into the final 30th round. Problem is, though, for FM, it's going to come down to a 1 round only. Then again, in terms of experience, the caliber of players, Pulse being one of those very high caliber players, already falling to NK's AWP, has the spawn, goes aggressive towards ramp, finds that first frag, and now that's quite questionable from the CT side now for their CT setup. Weber is on B short, playing very aggressive now. Very easy for him to get caught off, as we saw Smooth doing, or did yesterday. Fry 1 pushing for information. If he falls, like Weber does in mid, the round could easily be over.
Okay, going to be doing work with the AWP SKUM Gaming, playing to their strengths. They're a young team, full of these hot-headed individuals at times, but they're also a team that can adapt on the fly. They've had some pretty bad rounds that we've ripped them to shreds for, but then they've changed it. They've started to improve as this game has developed, and then it's 29th. They are contesting for overtime now. It's at 13-15. That scoreline quickly adds up just another in favor of this T side, leaving us down to a full 30. And FM, not exactly going to be going to this one pitch perfect happy as ever, are they?
Definitely not. The bias going to be weak. The momentum, potentially as well, the mentality is going to be weak. They've lost so many rounds in a row now.
They just got reality checked is what they've got. They've had the hand of SKUM slap them in the face and say, you know what, you thought you could just wreck us. You thought they were better individuals. You said Stanley is a better player than every single player on the side of SKUM.
I mean,
but right now,
bar this game, I would definitely stand by that.
You're not wrong, and I would stand with you on that as well.
Stanley.
But It's 14-15. SKUM Gaming have put an
35
incredible
kills
match.
on Hawkins. What? How have we not seen that yet? Oh my god, I feel so bad.
Do you know how the unsung hero kind of thing? Hawkins, he's been there finding those 2Ks and 3Ks every single time.
This is the problem, right? When we talk about and analyze the game, we never look at kills. We always talk about what happens in the rounds and what's happening in the current round. Sometimes, in the current, you just don't see what's already happened in the past, and that is Hawkins' fragging ability. 35 this week.
Even in the rounds they've lost, he's always been picking up
There it is,
frags.
36.
Now he's starting to feel ever so confident. Finds himself just one muffin. He's going to be there to spray them down, the partners as well. Pole's going to go aggressive though with the CZ. Picks up a double kill in return. Makes this one possible. But Duck, he's going to be the supporting actor for SKUM Gaming. Finds the refrag on towards short. And that team play, that camaraderie between these guys, all they got to do is do it one more time. One frag is all they need. And it is going to be going to overtime now. Hawkins, 130 hours.
Oh my god.
He is a keen man, and he is showing it right now.
Definitely on the ball. 130 hours and 50 minutes in the past 2 weeks on Counter-Strike. Definitely showing. Definitely showing. But, Pro 1 shows, and guess what? I just sprayed on the second, and suddenly this is a 1 versus 1, but the clock has ticked so far. NK, such high chance of him taking this one. Doesn't have to face. Even just the HE will do it.
And the HE will
OT.
going to be securing us overtime in our first map of this evening of the UK Masters Spring
A
2017.
lot of OTs. A lot of OTs.
You know what though, with the whole overtime topic, it's not like we're disappointed about that, are we? If anything, we're euphoric about it. We want overtimes. These upsets, they're what make this team thrive. These upsets for me are what make players like on the side of FM realize, hold on a second, you know what, there is new talent. There is new people arising in the scene, and they can put work up against us. Stanley, looking like he was trying to throw in a bit of a pause there, but that's going to mean he's going to fall rather short. This round is live. The game is on.
Weber makes a short jump, holding towards mid. He's done it so many times, but you can see the way SKUM play the T side. They play very, very passive early on. They watch for any early aggression towards FM. Once they've seen nothing, then they start to retake mid. Smoke it off, flash, things and such of that.
Oh,
just
Weber.
What?
Weber jumps in window. Filler is just there, ready and waiting, poised in action to take him down if that jump comes in. That's game sense.
It's not just that, but you're meant to do that, right? As Weber, your job is to check mid and hold mid, right? He holds mid, he's playing for information, jump spots underpass, jump spot or jiggle peeks towards mid, all of those things. As he goes for the jump peek, he gets his head torn off by Filler, and already the CT is pushing towards ramp. You see, as soon as he dies, they lose mid and they retake another portion of the map. If you're watching this, you need to understand counter map control and taking it back.
You talk about that though, but it could be all ending very, very brutally for him as he only finds one, which to be honest, only helps SKUM. As Duck, he's going to push it out, spirals away on towards Pulse, as Pulse can't shoot an enemy with his back turned apparently, falling very, very short in that situation there. Duck going to walk away on 12 HP, but 12 HP is still enough. Nilzinho is going to at least tackle him somewhat in the latter end of the round. But with 25 seconds rolling on through, that bomb does need to find its way down, but even further than that, look at it run. Look at FM. This is going to be difficult for them, but if they can drop that bomb, that at least makes this one possible. As they had some second thoughts on their T-side, but they're just pushing. They realize, okay, that's our game plan here. Just go aggressive. Plant for short now, because Nils in CT. This is the first round of OT in favor of SKUM.
How many rounds have they won in a row now?
You don't get to do that stat, but I'm pretty sure it's...
Well, it was 15... It was 14-12.
6 in a row, I think it was, and then they finally got... We saw those two rounds go backwards and forwards.
Yeah, it's 11-4 half. I mean, I said 12-3 is a big game changer. Still, the pause comes in. It is technical. I wonder how long that one will take. Still gives us time to break down what we've seen so far. SKUM Gaming winning their first T round. What does that mean? If they win this round here, they get to 17, FM will have 0 cash. Well, 1.5k, 2,000, simply isn't enough. And our producer today actually can count for once.
He can count, but if you look in game, he's still not counting to the right beat. Unfortunately for him. 16-15. SKUM Gaming looking to really play with that advantage. But they have a tough opposition. We still never want to understate the lineup of FM. One round is not one and done. FM, aggression in towards underpass. Stanley should be able to catch Duck off completely off guard. He needs to decide if he wants to go straight away, and that's the decision he's made. That allows Muffin to spiral and back around again. It's the same old situation for SKUM, where they get these trades, but Stanley still able to pull him through. Just another for him. Pulse digging in towards this B side, and a lovely little shot there as he peeks out to the right, takes down Filler. Hawkins looking to pop off though, and so he shall. Another headshot for him on towards Frywon. Pitting it in a 2 versus 2. SKUM Gaming really looking strong. But FM, they've made it work. But look at Hawkins, Pulse. No idea what he's able to do there.
Go together, please. Hawkins and NK, if they play this one together, there's a minute. There's no need to openly face Stanley in the 1 versus 2. No kits, so he has to try and stop the bomb getting down.
He sees the bomb though. He knows where that bomb is.
Hawkins? Is he on 40 now?
Very curious for Stanley and why he wants to face towards that B site though, because if you know the bomb's in apartments, why not just go sit in apps and at least try and kind of bank on that idea? Instead of going back to the B site.
He made the right play. The reason being is because he wants to make it 2 1 versus 1s. He anticipates that he's to group up. They could have grouped up from short. They could have grouped up from apartments. He pushes, tries to make it 2 1 versus 1s. Because obviously, SKUM Gaming, as you should do, group together in that situation. Still though, I mentioned the money would be dire if they do lose both the rounds, and they have. FM still on 15 after 2 rounds passing. SKUM at 17. Mag 7 being the most expensive gun in the hands of FM, and Weber's tilted.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Not really something I want to see in an official, if I'm honest, at all, but I understand emotions could be a big part of it. Yeah, stuff happens, as you say. Don't want to touch on that topic too much, as at the end of the day, it's just going to be a whole lot of jibber-jabber about stuff that really doesn't add too much into what is going on, which is that Pulse does find one with a Mag 7 and then swaps it out to an AK-47, but no Kevlar for him, so hopefully we can see him trade that back to one of his teammates.
Yes, indeed. Pulse with the only rifle in hand. Find the first, and that slows down the T attack from SKUM. They're going to retake mid. They're playing it right again. They're grouped together. They're going to attack as a unit. The biggest problem for them right now is they have no player towards A, no player towards B, as Pulse found that player. This is where things can get quite touchy for the T's.
Oh, well, timing though needs to be crucial here. Pulse going to find himself one, but Hawkins quickly to push, but Pulse still going to be winning the battle. A double kill for him, a triple kill as he takes down Muffin. NK finally punches him back in the face and will get the trade, but Weber with the deagle gets FM 1 round on the board in overtime. Just the one, but 1 round is enough to at least make it doable for them as we roll it into what is going to be our second half of the first overtime with a 17-16 scoreline.
SKUM need 2 to take this one. FM need all 3 rounds.
Hawkins has dropped 40. I hate to interject, but Hawkins...
Yeah, I know. He dropped it in the first one,
yeah,
I think.
But you
Played sick.
Gotta stress that.
First round here. If FM lose this, SKUM, they can't lose the game outright. They have to go to double OT, or if they win 1 more extra round, further round, they will then take the map. First map in the still 2 versus FM. Nades range through, return towards window. Where's Weber going to rotate that up?
Where's Weber going to rotate the AWP? The question I want to answer is, how's Hawking going to play this one towards short? Is he going to go aggressive here? NK, realizing that he's the back off from windows, that's going to be smoked off. Still waiting to see how the eagle-eyed Hawkins is going to approach the situation. The information on where Pulse is going. Starts to tag him on down, but can't quite connect the shots, and that's going to prompt him to fall on back. Realizes, you know what? I'm going to play to my strengths. If I can't find that frag then, when he turns around and actually faces me, high chance of me losing that situation. So he plays it smart. SKUM Gaming, they rescind their control back to their sites. Playing very, very passively. Look towards CT on A. Look towards jungle.
Muffin then spots the players. Tags up Pulse at 26 HP. Molly comes through. Good nades. Molly spreads down. Actually finds the kill. If he goes 1 for 1, it's not the end of the world because you have Hawkins now. 41 frags for him. Go and see if he can keep raining down those kills.
Hawkins still trying to get the best of the situation. Finds just another trade for the CT side. Takes down Weber. Ilzinho finally tackle the Kraken.
It's the bomb.
But the bomb is dropped. Fry is right behind them. The CT side realize what is going on. If they get themselves into bench, that actually works. That allows them for that repeak, and so they have. NK more than likely get caught on out, but no, he's sticking tight to the pillar. If he pushes this...
No, why?
Fry, he realizes what is going on, takes the battle, but Filler will win the individual duel. A headshot for him. SKUM Gaming, 18-16 now. Match point for their first map. FM, 2 flawless rounds required. That's a big ask.
They were 15-12 up. They get it into OT. SKUM Gaming win the first 2 rounds in their T side of OT. FM just can't claw it back. They lose momentum. From there, they've lost the game potentially. One more.
NK. He's ready and waiting in connector. Pulse does find that quick trade on towards Duck, however. But where is the opportunity? for his key side. NK just going to start to run riot with the AWP now. He wants to be the last pillar needed to push them right up, prop them onto a 19-16 victory. Weber stuck in the smoke, lost his destination, lost his mind almost. He has no idea where to run towards, waiting patiently in window to say, okay, when do I strike? But look at Muffin. He realizes what's going on, turns for the flash, Weber will face. And Muffin, an easy frag for him to find Hawkins. Just another. Pulse is the last man. We'll find ourselves at least a headshot for his troubles. But when is it going to end? This should almost certainly be 19-16, unless Pulse can go absolutely huge. So it isn't going to be the case. Filler is going to take him down. SKUM, 19-16 will be the scoreline after all. What an incredible first match.